Well, hey kids, how's it out there in YouTube land? We've been sitting here on a roller coaster all day today. Wind is howling up here at Cape May. The boat has been wiggling back and forth and jumping up and down and crashing and banging and booming, all kinds of noise. I've investigated, I can't figure out what the noises are coming from, but man, it sure has been a lot of banging going on. So, hey Armco84, how's it going? So the boat is just twisting and bending, and the rig is dancing. The mast is pumping. It has been a very tiring day today. Very, very tiring day. So we are trying to hold on, trying to keep it together. Hope this wind will pass soon. They kept saying that the highest wind speeds were supposed to happen at 11 o'clock, and then at 2 o'clock, and then at 4 o'clock, and now at 10 p.m. Seems like the highest wind speeds keep being pushed back further and further and further. Although I tell you what, man, it's blowing 20-25 here in the anchorage right now with gusts well in the 35 and 40 mile an hour range. It is blowing a hoolie out there. So Miss Lily and I have been locked up down below here, trying to stay out of the wind and dry. The boat's bouncing around so much you really can't walk around or do much on the boat except try to plant your butt in one corner, brace yourself, and kind of hold yourself in that position, which is kind of what I've been doing all day today. Can you stick the camera outside for a bit? I may do that later on, Mike Smith, but I'm not going to do it right now because because I'm sure somebody else is going to ask 10 minutes from now. So let's wait until we get more into the live stream and people actually show up. John Dolan, you said 7 o'clock. What am I late? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I'm a couple minutes late? I probably am. Had a little problem getting my thumbnail picture to upload, so it took me a little longer than I anticipated, but it is what it is. I know I'm not always on right at the stroke of 7, but you know. No, you just said 10 p.m. No, the wind is okay. The max, the highest wind speed for the day is now, they're talking about it being at 10 p.m. So we're theoretically right now not even at the highest wind speed we're supposed to receive today. It's they're showing it for here right now blowing around 20, 21. We're supposed to hit 20 or 23 as a sustained wind as late as 10 o'clock, and it's going to be blowing 20, 21, 22 miles an hour all night tonight. So all this animation going on in the boat is going to continue all night. So again, another very poor night's sleep is going to happen this evening. And I'm getting really tired. I'm getting bleary-eyed from the lack of sleep. So. But, you know, they had degraded it. Originally, they were saying the wind speeds were going to be even worse than that. So I decided to go ahead and risk being on anchor. I do appreciate Adrian was nice enough to donate the funds for me to go get a slip for the night if I wanted to. I decided to, to just try to build confidence in my anchor and my anchoring abilities. That's what I'm trying to build confidence in. So I set the anchor. I added my bow weight onto the anchor line so it has a better drag mark and drag line, scope, whatever you want to put it, drag angle, and it's holding. It's holding. It's been blowing like crazy since we got here last night. It's been blowing non-stop, getting worse and worse and worse as the day goes on. And it's blowing pretty good, and the boat's whipping around pretty good, and the boat's kind of animated and bouncing around, and you know, we're going left and right and forward and back and just jumping all over the place. So it been not a pleasant day, not at all a pleasant day. I've been sitting here, you know, just monitoring the anchor alarms, just waiting for the anchor to drag. And I figured if it's going to drag, it's going to drag right in the middle of the live stream, because that seems like when everything likes to happen to me is right smack in the middle of a live stream. So hopefully it won't, but hopefully it'll hold tonight, and I can get out of here tomorrow. It looks like the wind's going to still be blowing pretty good tomorrow, but not nearly this hard, dropping back down into the teens and stuff. And then hopefully we can get back into some calmer weather for a little bit, because I could really use some calm weather and frankly a really good night's sleep. So wow, did you hear that? Did you hear that noise? It's like the third time I've heard a noise like that, and there's nothing on deck showing anything for why that would make that noise. I have jumped out of the companionway and run up on deck looking around, and I see no indication of anything as to why that noise. I don't know, maybe if there was something floating down in the water that maybe bounced against the hull, or maybe it's my the hull to deck joint creaking and popping, or I've looked at my what do you call it, the plates where the stays mount. They all seem to be in fine shape and right where they're supposed to be. No movement in them at all. My chain plates, rather. Cables all seem to be in, I mean, nothing seems like it's out of place. But every so often I'll just get this really loud pop sound. I don't know. Boats may be coming apart at the seams. Who knows? Who knows? I certainly don't. But, someone sent me something. Hold on a second. I don't mean to be rude here, but I'm going to... you can't change the direction of the wind, but you can adjust the sails to your destination. Good morning. All right, cool. Thank you, John. Very nice. All right, well, let me see what I missed here in the chat. Okay, yep. Hey there. Hey, hello, hey all. Why the 2-pack thumbnail? Because it was an interesting sentiment. Hope you had a good day. Alexander, I have not had a good day. So, why do I see a picture of 2-pack on your thumbnail? Is it just me? Well, if you should read the caption, maybe you'll understand why there's a picture. It's getting better and better here. It's going to be a long, hot summer and still in the midst of a bad drought. Wow, Mike. Cocktails. Nope, seltzer water all day today. It just won't stop raining here. Okay. Comedian once said a weatherman is the only job that if you're right 10% of the time you get a raise. Oh, lots of those cockies here would pay for your rain. They're now selling off stock prices. And oh yeah, well we don't have really actually much in the way of rain right now. Our rain has disappeared, and now it's just big winds, big bouncy damn winds. So noise coming from your mast stepping. Yeah, it could be, Doug. That could be exactly it. It could be the mast steps moving around a little bit, making that pop. I was wondering the same thing. That is one place where there could be some action going on there. So. Bow Creek, some worse than others. Yep. Sounds like you've got all your hatches battened. No worries then. No, everything's battened down. Yeah. It's a 1-inch thumbnail. Yeah, I recognize that. Don't see the whole thumbnail from my phone. Carl, my bad. Huh. So you're saying the thumbnail just shows the picture and doesn't show the audio or the caption? Well, if that's the case, then that was dumb. That's not the way it was supposed to show up. And it wasn't the way it looked when I set the thing up. So I'm not exactly sure what went on there and why it would do that. But we will find out. Anyhow. What direction of the wind? The wind was blowing from the east-northeast, and now it's blowing from the east. Wow, heard a weird grinding sound out there. Now it's blowing from the east, which should have improved the wind angle and reduced the action here, but it really hasn't. It hasn't changed anything at all, actually. So it's very, very much still very bouncy here, and video's not showing up on my thing. I can't check it. Well, I'll get it later. I'm not worried about it. So, yeah, but it was originally supposed to be coming from the east-northeast, moving over to the east. And it is still east-northeast, which is actually about the worst wind angle for this anchorage. That means the wind's blowing straight down the entire length of the harbor right to where I'm at. Whereas if the wind would switch around to the east, then the land, which is just to the west of me, obviously would protect me from that wind, giving me a much more comfortable night's stay here, which is what it was been supposed to be doing. It's supposed to blow around and be coming from the east, but it's still coming from the east-northeast. And so it's getting this big long run here in the harbor, building up lots of speed, lots of waves. You can see the boat is doing this kind of stuff, and so it's been kind of bouncy. I'll tell you what, though, it's getting dark. Before it gets too dark, let me stick the camera outside so you guys can get to see what that's like. Hold on a minute. Let me set you there for a second. There's an idea of what we're dealing with this evening. We'll look around. There's actually white caps blowing here in the anchorage. I don't think I can get you up high enough to see much out any other direction. But of course, wind and waves never looks bad on camera. It always, I've noticed that myself, that when I film something and I think to myself, man, it's really blowing like crazy out here, and then I look at the video and the video just shows, you know, just a little bit of light movement. There we go. It doesn't look like it's all that bad. I can assure you it's that bad. So it is, it's bouncing around and jumping around quite a bit, and it's not comfortable. And my biggest concern is the anchor's going to drag and all this. But so far it's holding. So let's see. Good evening, Carl. Hope everyone are well this evening. Yeah, we're as well as could be expected. Yep. Rain is coming behind the winds. Actually, the rain was here before the winds. The wind and rain came at the same time. The rain abated and it's still windy. Check the anchor cleat. I've checked the anchor cleat many, many times. I actually have the anchor line running from to one cleat on the port side, and then cross the boat and also attached to the starboard side cleat as well. So it's connected to two different cleats, one after the other. And I have gone up and checked it like 6 times today, and it's absolutely fine. It hasn't budged one bit. So just say what it says. Okay. Caption is there, but I doubt you would see it on a phone or small device. I see. Okay, Mike, thank you. I had the winds this morning. Okay. Thumb looks okay to me. Huh. The peripheries of the picture are not visible on my view. Okay, well, no big deal then. How far off a protected shore are you? Well, I don't know about protected shore, but there's a seawall about 400 feet to my east of me, about 400 feet. And then across the channel, probably 1,500 to 2,000 feet across the channel, there's a marina over there. So, hey, no problem, Coyote. Check the bilge lately. Yep, the bilge is fine. 35 mile winds there, and I'm showing the reading this right now. Yeah, there is at least 35 mile an hour sustained winds blowing right now. I would say gusts up into 35, 40, maybe 45. Occasionally we'll get a real ripper come through, but yeah, our sustained winds right now are probably around 30, 35 at the moment. So, but on the bright side, your anchor is holding, and if you are building a bit of trust in it, every cloud. Yeah, that's true, Mike, and that's very true. I have to say, though, I don't know if you guys watched that video I put out about how I modified my anchor line today. I had released it to my patrons a few days ago. They get all the videos early before you guys do. Yeah, it was, I think that made a big difference. I think that's been the key to my anchor holding so well. So just tie off to the channel marker. Yeah, right. It looks dangerous because, yes, it is dangerous. And Carter Hayes, I'm trying not to go on deck if I can help it. Not to be, if a sub donates funds for a specific person, do you feel it should be used in that way than the subscriber intended? If it can't be used as specified, should it be refunded? Just asking. Well, Troll Sniper, and I don't know who you are. You're obviously someone trying to initiate some sort of issue here, but I will use today as a perfect example. I had a fella donated money to me so that I could go get a slip in a marina for today. I opted not to do that. I decided to ride out the wind because they actually degraded the wind. Now, of course, it's rolled back up, but I decided to try to set it out on the anchor and see if that would work. And so I refunded. Someone sent me $60 so I could spend the night in the marina. And today I refunded that person 60 bucks. So if that answers your question. I always find it interesting. It's always the people who don't donate that seem to have a big concern for all these sorts of things. You know, for the most part, the people that donate just tell me to use the money for whatever I damn well feel like using. Even if it's not for specifically what they donated to. But it's always these trolls and these other people who never donate anything, who always come back and you know, want accounting of stuff, like it's any of their business. So, thanks, Love to Sell. Hi all, first time on the live stream, what's happening? Hey, Seafair and Sarah, we're hanging out here in the wind. You need an external cam for live feeds. Yeah, I probably should. Just get a mooring ball or try and get a dock. Yeah, Carter, it's a little late for that now. If I was going to get a dock, I should have gotten a dock when I first came into the harbor when it was only blowing, you know, 15 miles an hour. The wind is actually blowing too hard right now. There must be a big boat going by. I can hear engines out there. The wind's blowing too hard right now for me to even think about pulling my anchor and trying to move anywhere. It would be just too dangerous. So I'm going to have to just sit here and ride it out. So, it is not dangerous. Oh yeah, it is. You ever feel crowded up, coop up air all day in the boat? Yes, of course. Could it be gale force later? It might very well be. It's probably not going to be. They say it's supposed to top out here around 10, 11 o'clock. And then as morning approaches, the wind's supposed to start dying off. So, facing the wind. Adrian. All right, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate it, Adrian. Just so you guys know, Adrian, the guy who donated $60 so I could go get a slip at the marina, I refunded him the $60 today, and he just now hit my PayPal and donated it back to me. Adrian, dude, you rock. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much. So, to double anchor to keep your boat facing the wind. I mean, yeah, I guess that's possible, John Dolan. I don't know that my other anchor would be of much value. My other anchor is only a 15-pound fisherman type anchor. I don't see where it would be of much value compared to my 33-pound Rockna that's out there now. Plus, my 15-pounder does not have any chain on it. The chain that I would normally use for it is what I absconded with and mounted out on the bow to add weight onto my existing anchor line. So, these Cali yachts are fantastic and strong winds. It will all be fine, Carl. Coast Guard near at hand. Yeah, the Coast Guard could not be closer, guys. I mean, literally, the wind angle currently right now, if my boat were to drag, I would drag right into the Coast Guard cutter. I would literally just, you know, go up and hit their boat. So if I'm gonna drag loose and hit another boat, it might as well be the coasties, right? So yeah. Are you cold tonight? No, Teresa, I'm not. Thank you. I warmed up quite nicely yesterday, wrapped up in the blankets last night. I woke up this morning completely recovered. In fact, I don't even have socks on at the moment, although I am wearing long sleeve shirt and long pants. I don't have socks on at the moment, so I'm not that cold. So bit of buffering. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. We'll be at your boat show. Hook up. Any cost for that? Well, love to sail. I don't know that I'm having a boat show hookup. I don't know exactly what schedule. I have not organized or scheduled anything yet. I'm not going to do that until I actually get there and know that I'm going to be there. Kind of a last minute kind of thing. So I'm not aware of any particular hookup at this point. So, Troll Cyber, thank you for your answer. Well, thank you. Good to see you safe. Hope Florence won't shake you. And Lily, honestly, a lot from this. You know, I just wonder how much of this is in fact, Florence just trying to do all the damage she can do as she works her way back out towards sea. I just wonder about that. Are you saying that if a person donates, they hold more status in your mind? Just wondering. Well, JD, sure. Don't you think that makes sense? I mean, you know, isn't that not logical? If somebody donates, should they not get maybe, you know, a little bit more of my attention? I mean, this is what I do for a living. I'm trying to make a living out of a YouTube channel. So obviously, I'm going to cater to those people that are being supportive of me. If you think that's a mistake, well, I'm sorry, but that's just. Man, that's just the way our economy works. So now that's not to say I expect everybody to donate. They certainly do not have to donate, but you know, those people that do donate certainly get more of my attention. How much water in the dinghy in case you need to beat feet? Actually, there is a couple inches of water in the dinghy from all the rain we got. And it's too windy for me to go outside there and try to dump it right now. I bought a 65-footer around the point there at Cape May. That channel was very rough and the winds being thrown off all the full cars would sneak up and splash over the bow. Huh, okay. Just a gooseneck photo would be all. Mine is loose and hard to sail. Maybe you have similar issues. Huh. Thank you, pilot, for taking care of that. Miss Lone Star has a lot of good info on refits. Best to follow her for Cal tips. Very experienced lady. Yeah, I'm very familiar with Miss Lone Star. Yep. Thanks for the suggestion. You could join both anchors in series. Yeah, I possibly could, Mike, but my anchor is down. I am not going to pull my anchor up so I can add another anchor to it. And right now, I don't think adding my other anchors was really going to do much. It would just drag. So, single-handed dragging anchor, single-handed is hurry. Okay. Which boat show are you aiming for? The Annapolis boat show. That was very kind of the person to resend the phone. Yes, it was, Troll Sniper. It very much was, yep. How is the head working? Is it holding up? My head works just fine, thank you. I agree with your comment to JD. Okay. Someone left the cage open. Yeah, smoking. I'm sorry about that, but, you know, my moderators seem to be doing an adequate job of taking care of stuff. I'll be at the Palm Beach show in March. Cool. Hey, Steve, how you doing, buddy? No, I'm not having a wonderful evening. I've been having a very rough 24 hours since last night. The wind has been howling. I'm waiting for my anchor to drag at any second now. Been on anchor watch for 24 hours straight, and now it's going to go right on through tonight till tomorrow morning. Not getting any sleep. And Yeah, Carl's not a happy camper tonight, so. And yes, the anchor in series could be a problem. Could be just one more thing to get tied up, so. Yeah, JD, sorry, but you know, welcome to reality, dude. That's I don't talk down or treat poorly anybody who doesn't donate at all. But if someone does donate, I'm going to acknowledge the fact that they donated. Sorry you have a problem with that, JD, but that's just what makes the world go around. So, really goods to me. Just looked at a 33-foot Lander sailboat, the same price, very big project, passing it up. Yeah, I think I did good buying this cow for $2,000. I think it was. I think I could have pulled the engine out of this boat and sold it for $2,000 and just scrapped it, the whole thing, if I wanted to. I think I got a good value buying it at the price I did. Changing your anchor setup tonight. The system you have is working. I can see the benefit of getting rid of the sliding weight. I can see that being a foobar when. Oh, the sliding weight that I have on there, Mike, doesn't interfere with my ability to set or retrieve the anchor at all. You know, I just leave that little bit of anchor line out of the anchor locker as a loop and just keep right on going with it. Actually, the very first thing that I do when I retrieve my anchor, I pull that up and remove that off the anchor line. So I do that, you know, when I'm leaving, trying to pull my anchor. If it was a state of emergency and I needed to pull my anchor quickly, like in the case of my anchor dragging, it'll just come up with no difficulty whatsoever, and I can simply just set it aside on the deck while I'm dealing with everything else. So I'm sorry I'm talking kind of loudly, but it's blowing pretty good right now while I'm trying to talk. So it's said my opinion, but then again, nothing, since I'm not a finance. You know, JD, just, hey man, get over it. You know, don't start that nonsense. I'm not a dude either. I'm a grandmother, actually. Well, okay. Sorry. I mean, how am I supposed to know that from the initials JD? Sorry about that, Grandma. What time do you usually do the morning live streams? I don't really have a specific time that I do them. Not like the evening one, which I specifically do at 7 o'clock. So, sorry. Being a financial contributor via a view for you or your thumbs up. Yeah, I agree, JD. I agree. I don't put any content out that, you know, I mean, it's all out there for free. I'm not charging anybody to do that, except those people that jump on my Patreon. They get some extra footage that doesn't come out. So, sorry you feel that way. I have trouble with the wind in the northeast. Yep, that's true, Marge. You just enjoy the alternative. That's correct, JD. I will just enjoy the adventure. Okay, I will send you a link on how to make bridle with what you have on board. About an hour of fun to assemble. Actually, Bubba, you know what I was thinking? Now that I'm using that drop chain on my bow, it'll be very simple for me to make a bridle out of the drop chain, and then by making a bridle out of the drop chain, that should somewhat recenter the anchor line better. So I think that may be a better situation. So. Okay, JD, you're apparently not listening, ma'am. I'm sorry. I'm not saying I'm going to treat you differently. I treat all my viewers the same, but if somebody donates, they're going to get a little special attention. If you think that's wrong, I'm sorry, but that's just the way the world works. That's just the way economics are. So maybe her fingernail thumbnail. Not sure what that's about. Okay, alert for your channel. Okay. Whether or not you're a politician, welcome to the real world. Ever notice how easy it is to get a face-to-face meeting with them if they know you're a donor? Hey Don, how you doing? Yep. Do you ever get nauseous with the rocking of the boat? I probably would. A lot of people do get seasickness. I'm very fortunate in that I have a pretty good constitution, and so therefore, I've only, when I was a kid, I can remember getting seasick one time when I was a kid, but I've never been seasick again since then. So, be more comfortable and safer. Yep. Hey, Mary Kay. You can really hear the waves slopping at your hull. Wow. Yes. Yes, the boat is rocking and rolling pretty good right now. Guys, I need to grab my other glasses out. It's just, I should remember to grab these before I start the live streams. I don't know why I don't, but it just makes it a whole lot easier for me to read the small print when I have just a little bit more magnification available to me. So, Carl's even timed out mods. Yes, I have. Mods deserve to be timed out. Replay what you said after the show, please. Okay. There are those who have gotten seasick and those that will. I learned the hard way. Yep. Hey, Mike Mayfield, how you doing? Hey, John Stratton, what's up? So anyhow, guys, that's about all that's really going on here. The wind has been howling all day. I've not been getting much sleep. Just waiting for the anchor to drag. It's like, you know, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. You know, it's dragged so many times. I'm just expecting it to drag. And to be honest with you, at this point, I'm amazed that it hasn't dragged. Here is my anchor alarm pattern since I've been in this anchorage. This is the last 24 hours. The dot in the center is my anchor, and all that bright, colorful stuff is the way my boat has been moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I think where you see the yellow stuff here and then the darker stuff on the outside, I do think my anchor may have dragged a little bit. But if that happened, you know, sometime during the night last night, and it's been just rock steady since then. So, because you can see there was sort of a curve, and now there's sort of another curve right behind that. So I think the anchor did move, you know, 10 or 15 feet at some point in there, but it's been pretty rock solid since that move. So, and like I said, all that's been over the last 24 hours, and it's really not moving anymore over this last hour or so, which is really what I would have expected, because as the evening progresses, the wind is getting faster and faster and faster and faster. And it's supposed to continue to get faster and faster up till about 11 o'clock or midnight, at which point we're supposed to be hitting our zenith. And then after that, things will start to drop off a little bit and start slowing down. At least that's what I'm hoping for. So, yeah, baby, Billy, the boat is rocking. Big storm's coming. No big storm passed, John. We're at the tail end of letting it get away from us. So, the other shoe will fall. Always does. Yep. Trust the technology, deal with it, dragging if it happens, but otherwise move on and do other stuff. Well, it's kind of hard to move on while I'm waiting for the weather to quit blowing, Mike. I know it's difficult during these windy days when you're rocking and rolling, but I found them to be good to do small chores and projects that don't take a long time or a lot of effort. Well, yeah, Steve, I had a hard enough time just trying to get up and cook myself something to eat today. Trying to move around the boat, had to keep myself braced over to one side. In fact, sitting here on the bench right now, you know, I sit here during the daytime with both of my feet planted on the ground in front of me or one leg up on the staircase, kind of pushing myself back and keeping myself braced against this cushion, because the boat will rock forward and it's trying to dump me out onto the floor here. So, put it this way, there's a couple of times I've tried to stand up and absolutely couldn't because the boat rocked the wrong way. There was a couple of times I tried to stand up and the way the boat was rocking, it just, you know, it was like having one of those chairs that lift you right up. So got me to my feet easy. Needless to say, the boat is really rocking, kids. First off, you don't need a bridle, but if you want one, just cleat to a line on each cleat and then tie those lines to the anchor line with a rolling hitch. Doesn't cost a dime. Yep, I'm familiar with that, Bob. Playing catch up, I see you on your hook. Like I said the other night, took us a while to trust the hook. You said you're not new to sailing. Well, just glad you're trying to trust the hook. Yeah, Mary Kay, it's a new anchor for me on a boat that you know, I've only been on this boat for 4 months, and most of that 4 months I've really not had to anchor very much except for the last, you know, 90 days. Well, last, what, 60, 75 days or so. Yep, Dramamine does help when you get seasick. I have a general admission ticket because you watch the event. The producer gets paid for viewers that have reserved seating. One generally pay extra for that. There you go, Troll Sniper. There's a good analogy. Thank you for that. Seasick trick that works is a single earplug. Only one ear. Huh. I had never heard of that. Just plugging one ear so it would try to... You know, seasickness is actually because the fluid in your ear is moving and it sets off your equilibrium. So, Steve says, Mike Smith, that really works well. Huh, I never heard of doing just one ear. Well, you learn something every day, by gosh. You learn something every day. So there you go. So I'm hoping this wind sets down this evening. That's the way it's forecasted. I don't know if my boat can take much more. I mean, it's just been blowing and blowing and blowing and blowing. So I, for one, would like a little peace and quiet and stillness. Stillness, yes. That's the thing I seem to be wanting today, is just a little stillness. I'd like for the boat not to be rocking. There's this basket in front of me that has all my bread and stuff in it, and it's just bouncing back and forth. And of course, the fishing lure here is moving back and forth, and it would be nice for things just to be still and quiet for a little bit, but not going to see that for a couple days. We're not supposed to have any real quiet winds for another 24 to 48 hours. So, so we wait. I can't hear in one ear and still get seasick. Huh. Yeah. No, I'm not seasick. I am not seasick at all. Let's just clarify that. I'm not seasick at all. Alcohol is a pretty good medicine for seasickness. You mean alcohol in the ears, or do you mean alcohol in the belly, John? Which one are you referring to? So, yeah, sometimes just getting a good ear cleaning could help. But sometimes drinking a little bit. But, you know, if you get seasick, last thing you want to be doing is drinking alcohol, because usually it makes people throw up. Okay. See, I have sweet tea and popcorn. There you go. There you go, JD. Anyhow, kids, so I don't really have anything to talk about. I watched videos today. I did a little bit of reading, and I listened to the wind today. Started the generator, charged up the house battery. Really didn't do anything constructive today. So, can you move up the bay to find better place to throw the hook? John, I'm not going anywhere in this wind. As long as my anchor's holding, I'm staying right here. Did you get to see the live stream last night? It was disgusting, actually. Okay. Lots of regulars are missing here tonight. Seems quiet. Yeah, does seem to be a lot of regulars missing in there. We use this for tourists on my parasail boat in Hawaii. Oh, okay, cool. Huh. All right, then. So, yeah, I don't know what else there is to talk. Oh, I did deal with some administrative stuff today. Looks like a small craft advisory until Wednesday afternoon. Miss Shar, there's a small craft advisory in my anchorage tonight, let alone offshore. I kid you not, guys. There's like 2-foot waves blowing through the anchorage here. At least there was just before I started the live stream. So hey, Mama's 3. It's been blowing all day and building up pretty good waves. Like I said, the angle, this bay that I'm in runs sort of north-south, and this wind is coming from the northeast, so it's got this big long run where the wind's able to start at the head of the bay and run down the whole length of it. So it is not the protected anchorage that it would normally be. If this wind would just move around a little bit more over to the east, we would have a lot more protection, and the sea state would calm down. The boat wouldn't be bouncing around so much. So finally called, tell him live. Oh, hey, Adrian, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you being here. And once again, Adrian, thank you very much for the donation, sir. I appreciate it. So next we'll have some extra funds to push your way, like $15. Well, still, that would be awesome. Thank you. Keep watching that iPad. You will scare yourself. I watched pot never boils, and a watched clock never moves. We set our alarm and set it on the side and leave it, just trying to help. Well, yes, Mary Kay, I tend to do the same thing. I tend to set it and put it off to the side. When I said I was watching my iPad, I was actually watching movies. I set the, well, actually both my iPad and my anchor and my iPhone have the anchor alarm. I have them both set. Sometimes they actually display a different pattern, which I find a little alarming, but I have them both set. So, but it's not like I sit here all day long and stare at them. I'm watching a video or something. So, actually lately I've been binge watching Sopranos. So, Mike, I am in Cape May, New Jersey. I'm on the very southern tip of New Jersey's coast, getting ready to jump into the Delaware Bay once we get a weather window. So people are skeptical about it. So, cool. Guess who I want a squeeze? Okay, tickle me fine. You're getting a little weird, dude. Be stormy the next 36 hours with high tide and a full moon. Well, sounds about right. Well, thanks, Adrian. Appreciate it. Somewhere in the background. Why can't we see the number of likes on the live stream? Because I turned that feature off. Usually fairly fast with front. I'm hoping it moves, but right now this wind's supposed to continue blowing the same direction for a long time. Fall harvest moon tonight, I do believe. Well, I don't think I can see it. We're covered up in clouds here. You know, Sopranos is a fun binge watch. Yeah, it is, King of Chuck. John Nolan, how are you? I'm everywhere. Yeah, Patreon Pirate, you certainly are. Anyhow, guys, so that's all there is to report on here. Why don't we go do a shameless shout out. If anybody's got a YouTube channel they want to promote, go ahead and promote your YouTube channel. Let's see, Tickle Me Finn, I think it's got a YouTube channel. Slipstream, I don't know if he's watching, has one. Don't forget, Douglas has one. You can watch Douglas's Car Talk on 5 o'clock on Saturdays. W is a free app, Adobe Premiere Clips for cell phones to create really nice videos. Huh, I did not know that about Adobe. Thank you for that, Troll Sniper. Harvest Moon here is insane in Key West tonight. Oh, cool. Okay. All right, well, anyhow, I guess that's it. Nobody wants to take advantage of that, so I'm going to go ahead and end this here and call it a night. So you guys enjoy yourself and be good and be careful and take good care of one another. And we will see you guys tomorrow. In the description down below, there's links to my PayPal and Patreon should you want to contribute to the cause. And if not, well, that's all good too. So we'll have more for you later, kids. Bye.